Okay. Oh. Let me just crack this bad boy open here. Oh, there we go. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yo, it's water. It's water. What'd you think? I was opening a beer? Is that what you thought? You thought it was a beer? Can't always be beer and cigars, everybody. Hope you guys had a great week. If I get this damn lid on. Oh, you want to be complicated. That's what this is. You want to be a pain in my ass. There we go. The little ring wouldn't go all the way down. All right. I'm going to have to pee here in a second. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Last regular season game is upon us. It is here. It's a little sad, but I'm happy we got here. I'm happy. Look, you're going to play your full 10, it looks like. I think Bama, I haven't seen yet, but I'm pretty sure they're up in the air, and they'll be in Fayetteville. Arkansas taking on Bama, taking on UCA, both men and women's this weekend. The men are going to be on Saturday, and the women are going to be on Sunday. So we may have, I think on the Hog Talk we said it was on Saturday, both the men and women, and that is incorrect. It's Sunday. Yeah. So, how you guys doing? How you doing? Good week? Yeah. Mine not too bad. I'm taking it a day at a time. That's what I'm doing, just like many of you. So Tennessee had yet another. Did you guys see that? They had another 4-star decommit. Have you seen their decommitment for this class? Their list. It's incredible. And look, everyone's got to deal with decommitments. Arkansas's had one, and then he ended up recommitting. That was Landon Rogers. Wow. Another prospect. And he committed to Ole Miss today. It was a tight end, Mr. Ford, I think is his name. Pretty big-time prospect for them to lose. And we've been there. We know what it's like. But Tennessee, it just looks like they're in a downward spiral. So I did not – let me get my seating correct here. I'm not wearing the flamingo shirt, and I'm not wearing the shades. I've been instructed by the boss, a.k.a. my wife, I need to keep this at around 30 minutes because then I got to turn around and go get dinner for tonight. I need recommendations, too. We can't figure out what we're going to do for dinner. And we would like to avoid fast food. And we did noodles a couple weekends ago. We've done Chinese. Sarah, if you're listening, Chinese sounds great. I'm just going to throw that out there. So, But, hey, if you guys have any recommendations for Fayetteville, Springdale area, because that's as far as I'm driving, I'm not going any further. So Tennessee with another decommitment. That was in the news this week. Arkansas, probably the biggest news for the SEC was the contract that's going to start in 2024? The ABC deal. They're picking that up. So Arkansas, Bama, Auburn, all the 14 teams in the SEC will not be on any other station. No more CBS. It's going to be exclusive to ESPN, ABC. Well, all the Disney-owned stations. So, look, it's a 10-year deal, so it's going to go well into the 30s. That's so weird to think about. God, I'll be pushing 50 when that deal runs out. That's incredible. So, yeah, I think that was 2024 is when that deal starts. It's a big deal. It does add value to all the schools. It adds value to the SEC. It makes it that much more attractive. And I think when I said several months ago, COVID-19 hurried things up as far as like starting to, creating that starting point or pushing it up further for there to be a super conference. I think that this is a sign of that. I think this is a sign of that because now all of a sudden the SEC looks really secure. Value is going to go up even more. That's already there, right? Like the value. What do these teams get out? $70 million or something. Part of their deal with ESPN, SEC Network. Now you're on ABC, and so now you're that much more attractive, and that's another push into the direction of a super conference. I'm telling you, we give it 3 more years. Within the next 2 to 3 years, they're going to add. They're going to expand. It's not good for Arkansas. If you want my opinion, expansion is not good. It's not good. But that's another podcast, another stream for another day. But that's a big deal. I don't have all the numbers in front of me as far as what that deal's worth. Let me read chat really quick. I hope you guys are doing swell. I've already said that like 15 times. I hope you're doing well. I can't wait for Arkansas to play a SEC team so we can see how good we actually are. You're talking about basketball. Yeah, they're going to – UCA coming up. Cannot wait for that one tomorrow night. It's going to be on SEC alternate, so we'll go into that game here in a second. Jacob Botwinick, sup, Ty? What's up? UCA is winning. I mean, do you want to put money on that? Colorful Snacks? You want to put some dough down? Because I wouldn't take UCA to even, I don't know if they're even going to cover, what is the spread? They're not going to cover anything. UCA is going to get smoked. If they keep this thing within 15, I'll be impressed. What's up, Ty? What's up, Gavin? How you doing? Spud Snyder, 12:30 against War Eagle. Yeah, well, that's when they open up conference, right? Okay, my bad. I had to think for a second. Howdy, Ty. What's up, Cody Sutterfield? How you doing, my man? Shooter Race Gaming. Yeah, I know. Oh, you're talking in chat. Okay, my bad. Mr. Cobra, my brother-in-law is a Bama fan, so you could say this week has been fun. Yo, Ty. What's up, Fishman? How you doing? Nah, we all know Ty is PG. That's right. I keep it PG here. Go Bears. Boy, I'm telling you. I love the enthusiasm, but UCA's not off to a great start. Did you guys hear Sean from Lafayette on the morning rush this morning? Was that you, Sean? Did you call into the morning rush? You joking about UCA winning. What is with brother-in-laws being Bama fans? I guess our sisters don't love us. Mark Douglas says, wouldn't it be nice if tomorrow the Arkansas defense of the first few games, oh my gosh, tell me about it, shows up in play besides the offense for at least a couple of games? I don't know what happened to this defense. I would love to see the defense that showed up against Ole Miss, the defense that showed up against Mississippi State, Tennessee. I would love to see that defense show up against Bama. I'm just not that it would really matter. No matter what happens, Bama's going to rack up some points tomorrow, you guys. It's there's a reason why I didn't make this all about Bama, this whole show, because there's just not much for me to say there other than Bama's going to stomp a mud hole in Arkansas's rear ends. Is there a way to watch Hogs versus UCA? It's going to be on SEC Alternate. It'll be on SEC Alternate channel. So, yeah. Judd will be streaming it. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Judd is. Oh, my bad. I'm not reading names in chat. I see what you're saying. So, Luke Never Shaves will probably be streaming it on Twitch. Again, if you guys don't have Twitch, you need to download it on your phone or just go to the site and save it as one of your favorites and look up the name, all in one word, Luke Never Shaves. It's all free. He streams, as far as I can tell, he has streamed every game that Arkansas has been available going back at least to last year. It's to the point where I know people that are like, you know what, if he's going to keep doing that, I may just cancel my bill, my YouTube or whatever they have, whatever they're paying for, because they only have it to watch Arkansas football or Arkansas athletics. And I'm kind of in the same boat, but then again, it was really nice to watch my Rams play last night, beat the living hell out of the Patriots. God, that was justice, revenge. May not have been in a Super Bowl setting, but still, I love it. So yeah, Luke Never Shaves will be streaming that if you guys don't have access. You'll have a baby face when you hit 50. Ty, I have a baby face now. It's never going to go away. Leslie Byram says, I know I made it to put my rubber boots on, but I do believe we could beat Alabama tomorrow. I love your commentary, dude. I'll watch you all the time. Thank you. I appreciate it, Leslie. I love the enthusiasm, Leslie. I mean, the game is played on the field after all, and I do agree with that, but I just don't like their chances here. Ty, just say it. They're going to stomp us a second asshole, says Jenna. Okay, likes. Let's get the likes up, everybody. We got 6 likes, so I know we can get the likes up. That helps the channel get a little bit more reach. Jenna took the words right out of my mouth. It's not going to be pretty. So we'll go ahead and start with this UCA game first. I was talking about when the ABC deal ends, you said you'd be 50. Oh, I'd be pushing 50. Yeah, I would be. And still having a baby face. I absolutely would. What do you think we are looking like for basketball? Do you think we can make top 25? It's all going to depend on, again, your non-conference schedule is just, it is so bad, guys. And I don't have to tell you that. It's not good. You're non-con, and it wasn't supposed to be this bad, and thank God. I'm happy they even found a filler for Tulsa to play Southern. If they get all their ducks in a row, and it looks like they have their starting 5, it looks like it's starting to come together. They're trying to figure out different rotations for different matchups. There's a lot left to figure out. I think a lot of teams too we have to consider they're not playing yet. So we don't know what everyone else really looks like. You've got Duke. Are they bowing out the rest of the year or just non-conference games? I think Coach K said he was. I thought I read where he was interested in just not playing until after Christmas break. So there's a lot of things to consider. Games still getting postponed. If that happens, that's in Arkansas's favor. If you keep playing all your non-conference games, you might have a shot at being ranked because no one else is playing. It's not fair to keep these teams ranked that aren't playing. I'm sorry, and I hated that when college football was doing that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. These teams aren't playing. They don't deserve to be ranked. It's part of the reason why you saw all these non-P5 schools ranked this year. I think at one point there were like 4 non-Power 5 schools ranked. I don't know we've ever seen that. Or at least it's been a while. Coastal Carolina, BYU, what's one of the Louisiana schools? Was it Lafayette? That was ranked, I think, for like a week or something. So, but that I'm okay with because these other Power 5 schools, you had the Big Ten start late, you had the Pac-12. By the way, Ohio State's a bunch of – oh, my gosh. The Big Ten, I don't know if you guys saw this or not. The Big Ten is they're going to erase their threshold to get into the conference championship. So this way now Ohio State can play in the conference championship. So they'll get a better opportunity to go to the playoffs. It's just – it's so ridiculous. If there's, in my opinion, the best rivalry, I think, in all of sports should be the Big Ten versus the SEC for so many different reasons. The pompous, jackass Yankee mentality that they have up there, and they think that they truly are God's gift to all things sports and college sports. It's a little bit different when you well, maybe not when you talk about pro sports. They still think. I hate the Big Ten. That in and of itself it should be just a rivalry. Anytime these two teams play out of their respective conferences, I bring them on. I don't want them in the playoffs. Ohio State has no business. How many games are they going to play at that point? 6? I mean, and this is just another reason why they should expand the freaking playoffs. It's another reason why we need playoff expansion. Of course, this was unforeseen. I get it. Just ridiculous. The nonsensory here. Well, it makes perfect sense if you're a Big Ten fan. Like, yeah, we want representation. We want that dollar bill. It looks good when you're in the playoffs. You've got someone from your conference. And I understand. Look, I honestly, I would understand the SEC doing that. But they're not doing it. They don't have to do it because they didn't fool around and decide to postpone the season like the Big Ten decided to do so late in the year. That's on them. Your bad decision making is it's a reflection. That's you. All right? You're asking the rest of college football to just, give us a break. No, they should not be in the playoffs. But then the argument is, well, who takes their place? Is it another SEC school? Does maybe A&M have a shot? What happens if Florida? I mean, we know. Look, I've got Florida. I think it'll be a good game between Florida and Bama for like 2.5 quarters, and Bama will take over. But if Florida's a 2-loss, I would take them over anyone out of the Big Ten because they earned it. They played all their games. That's on the Big Ten, man. You guys decide to push your year back. That's on you. To hell with you. You should not be in the playoffs. And even if there was an expansion in the playoffs, I wouldn't want them in it. Give me Coastal Carolina. They earned it, man. They earned it. They played their freaking games. Effing Yankees. That Connor Vanover reminds me of Dirk Nowitzki. He has NBA talent as well as Moody. Yeah. I like his game so far. Well, let's get into this UCA game. I'll get off my Big Ten rant. I hate the Big Ten so much. I hate them. I damn sure hate everyone out of that conference more than than Mizzou. Arkansas right now, obviously 5-0. UCA's 0-3. 0-3. They have, they've got this guy Bergerson, who's averaging like 17 points a game. Trying to pull up all of his numbers here. He's averaging close to 36 minutes a game. He's shooting 56% from the floor, getting 5 rebounds. It's not a bad resume for him, And he's a guard. He's a 6'6", 205-pound guard who can be a little deadly from the floor. So Arkansas is going to have probably their hands full a little bit with him, but let's be real. He'll be probably their leading scorer. All right, that's as far as that goes. Arkansas projected to win this thing according to the ESPN Basketball Power Index at 92%. If Arkansas wins, I believe this is their 7th matchup all time. The Razorbacks are undefeated against UCA. But as a team, they're shooting 43% from the floor. Compare that to Arkansas's 47%. That's ridiculous. Arkansas averaging 89 points per game, UCA at 72. Now, UCA was supposed to have a pretty decent start to their year. They're supposed to go on the road and take on Ole Miss. Arkansas State. I don't know anything about Arkansas State. I'm sure they're terrible at basketball. Jackson State, Missouri State, at Memphis, at UVLR, and then SLU. So that was supposed to be the start of their year at Memphis and Ole Miss. You've got 2 that would have been interesting to see how those games would have turned out. But we know the Memphis game happened. I'm sorry, the Ole Miss game, that would have been interesting to see how that would have played out. They lost to Memphis. All their games have been on the road, by the way. They lost to Memphis 85-68. They lost to UVLR 86-83. First game was 85-68, against Memphis. UVLR 86-83, and then SLU they lost 88-65. And they play in the Southland standings, and they're bad. Abilene Christian plays in that conference. They're 5-1. Arkansas plays them this year, right? Isn't that? Yeah, it is. That might be a decent matchup. Maybe they get a decent game here. They went on the road and lost to Texas Tech 51-44. I mean, considering who Texas Tech is and how good that program is, they're top 20 in the country. 51-44. That's not bad. Maybe there's a matchup here. Right now, they're second in the conference behind Stephen F. Austin. Sam Houston State's also in that conference at 3-3. Nichols, we're familiar with that school. They're 2-3 on the year. So maybe Abilene Christian will be a game. Maybe that's the game that, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're a tournament team. Those guys on the year are 5-1. No great wins on their resume, but that Texas Tech game, that's intriguing to say the least. But yeah, Arkansas should have a pretty good have a good matchup against those guys. But UCA, let's take a look at their roster. Let's look at their size. We're going to discover this together because I honestly don't know jack about their roster. So they got a couple of bigs. They've got Jonas Munson, who's 7 foot, 220 pounds, out of Alexandria, Virginia. 7 foot, 220. They got a couple of bigs there. 6'7". They got a forward, Samson George, 6'7". They've got another 5, a center at 6'10". That's Churchill Bounds. And another 6'7". It's a guard at 6'7", Jackson Baker. So they got a little bit of size. This guy's last name is Shitu. S.K. Shitu. I'm not making that up. He's a 6'9", 215 pounds. He's out of Rogers, Arkansas. I've never heard of him. No disrespect. I've never heard of the guy. S.K. Shitu. See what he's done on the year. He's not. He's had some minutes on the floor. 9 minutes a game on the floor. S.K. Shitu. Don't giggle when they say that name tomorrow. We're gonna all together collectively. We're gonna say, you know what? We're mature. We're grown-ups here. So they've got a little bit of size, but yeah, I don't think this will be much of a ball game. It's probably a blowout. Dirk was a way better athlete. Yeah, I don't. When people compare him to Dirk, it's like, yeah, that's just not. Yeah, I mean, he's great. Don't get me wrong. Connor is great. Any big who can stretch the floor like that and can shoot the three, can shoot out in the perimeter like that, that's special. That's special. When you get the opportunity, and they've got two guys. Jalen Williams can stretch the floor out a little bit too. But it's just not fair to compare him to Dirk. But, yeah, Dirk was special. The Big Ten, Jenna says the Big Ten are all duty heads. I agree. He won't get 17 against the Razorbacks. Still no notifications. I know it. I don't know what's going on. YouTube, there's been an issue. They fixed their links finally. Their links are finally going out correctly. So, is Corliss Williamson's son going to play for the Razorbacks? Oh, I have no idea. I have not done any research on Arkansas recruiting. What class is he in? He's 20. Someone's going to have to tell me in chat. What class is he in? His son. I would opt out of the non-conference schedule. Could be a step towards Arkansas playing Arkansas State in football one day. Yeah, it could be. Doug Stubbs, hey, Ty. Welcome to Friday. Indeed. It's so nice. Shitu. No, it's spelled S-H. Let me look at that again. You know, for educational purposes. S-H-I-T-T-U. Shit you. Shitu. But you know those the announcers of this game are going to be like, they're going to do everything they can to sound it out correctly, and they're going to do something like shito or shito or shit. That sounds worse. That sounds worse. Shito, shitu. I'm not swearing for the 5 people who get triggered when I swear, and I know Arky56 gets bothered. I'm not swearing. That's the guy's name. No, we need a new sign that says what's the smell. I think he's 23. I got my notification. Guess that's special perks of being a Patreon. There you go. Maybe that is Doug. I don't know. Yeah, so I obviously like Arkansas to win that one by double digits. Same thing with the women's. Women are going to play them on Sunday. It shouldn't even that one. Well, I think their women's team is really bad too. To be honest with you, again, I don't know much about their women's team. I know our team, Lady Backs, are really damn good. Moving on to Arkansas and Alabama. All right, you guys wanted a prediction. Well, let's get through this game first. Let's just head to toe this bad boy. Alabama, obviously 9-0. This could very well be one of, not saying it's the best Bama team he's ever had. And we got to consider how many games he's played or that they've played. We got to consider, the unorthodox offseason and everything. All things considered, though, Bama it's like everyone else. For the bad teams like Arkansas, they took a big step forward, right? Ole Miss, I don't know. I think you could say they took a step forward. Mizzou took a pretty big step forward for their program. Mississippi State took a step back. But it's like everyone, but of all the other good teams around college football, it seems like no one took as big of a step in the right direction. They didn't take this big of a step in the right direction as Alabama. Alabama is explosive on offense. Their defense is elite. And that shouldn't surprise anyone, but if you look at the last 2-3 years, defense hasn't really been as good as what we were used to back in the early days of the Saban era. The last several years, there's been some good years. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they've been bad, but this year, I mean, you're talking about giving up only an average of 357 yards a game. I mean, that's 100 yards less per game than Arkansas. It's 357 to 452. 100 yards less a game. They're giving up 18 points a game. They're scoring almost 50 points a game. It's unheard of. The line right now at 32. This is a very Should be an easy game to predict, but I think because it's, the over-under's at 68.5, it should be easy to predict. Yeah, obviously I'm taking Bama to win this thing. I think Arkansas covers. And I think they probably get some mercy points because Bama is going to be preparing. It could potentially be a trap game for their starters, meaning, or maybe better put, for their backups, because they're not going to want to play their guys the entire game here. Arkansas is a very physical defense. Even though they've been bad this year, you've got guys like Morgan, Bumper Pull, and Catalon who can absolutely rock you. They have injured people this year, obviously not on purpose, not intentionally. If I'm Saban, I'm not risking that. And Florida's definitely not a team they're going to overlook. You don't overlook anybody, and I don't think Saban overlooks anybody anyways, but especially in a conference setting, a conference championship setting. There's potential here for this to be a trap game for Alabama for their backups. Playing it safe. Arkansas finds a way, and even their backups are elite. Look, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Their backups are damn good. They're former 5- and 4-star, highly rated players, right? The 3 stars they do have are guys that are probably overlooked or undervalued. Guys that, looking back, these recruiting sites probably went, damn. Yeah, they probably should have been rated higher. But they are loaded to the brim with talent. Not telling you anything that's going to shock you there. And that includes their backups. The biggest question still yet, who the hell is playing quarterback for Arkansas? That does matter. In a weird scenario last weekend, and actually a buddy of mine texted me earlier this morning, and he said, Arkansas's offense, in fact, our Discord said this too, Arkansas's offense appeared to work better under KJ. But why do I feel like Felipe Franks, had he started, we probably beat Mizzou? And I think a lot of that's because of experience, because of knowledge of the offense, because of, again, Felipe Franks has played in big-time games. Felipe Franks has played against opponents far better than Mizzou. And I do think, had Felipe Franks played, Arkansas wins that game last weekend. But it's weird because Arkansas's offense still was better, faster, more points, the most points of the year, the most production, the most offense, right? KJ goes out and has over 300 yards of total offense, 4 touchdowns, and he kills it. But for some reason, you still get that feeling like had Felipe Franks played, we probably would have won. Because when I look at it, the run game got going. The run game started going before KJ did. KJ started off slow. It was actually the run game that opened things up. Imagine if Felipe Franks had been quarterback with that deep ball, with that accuracy that he has. Not that KJ doesn't have deep ball skill as well. KJ was throwing him on a dime downfield. But I just get this feeling like had Franks played, and this isn't a shot at KJ. I think he's QB1 next year until Hornsby dethrones him. I think it's going to take a bit. It might be this Bama game. I don't know. Maybe he goes out and he has a bad game. It's entirely possible, especially against Bama. And I don't know that you hold that against him, but we know how fans are. And sometimes these coaches fold to what the fans do and say on social media. I don't know if Pittman will, when you think about it. But we know how fans are. Fan is short for fanatic. I've been saying that here for years. They're going to have a horrible reaction if KJ goes out and he's terrible. Again, we have to consider just how good Bama is on defense. They are good. They take the ball away. They get sacks. They get pressure. They play really good along the line of scrimmage. Their offensive line might be one of the best offensive lines. They are, good God, they are good on the line, on the offensive side of things, just on the line of scrimmage all the way back. And they're down a star receiver, and they're still just stroking people. So who the hell's going to play quarterback for Arkansas? I feel like you have a better shot if your run game's going with Franks because of his experience. This offense is in rhythm right now. But is the run game going to get going against Bama? Is it going to take someone like Franks? Or is it the two-dimension, the things that KJ brings to the offense with his ability to run, his ability to throw, is it going to take that to open things up against Bama? Franks is one-sided. He's not the dual threat that KJ is. KJ's not as quick as Malik Hornsby. I know every time I say that, someone says, yeah, but Malik Hornsby's faster. He's a true dual threat. Yeah, KJ is too, though. KJ can run out of the pocket. KJ was considered a dual threat out of high school, but a good pocket passer out of high school. Even though my biggest complaint with him in his high school film was he held on to the ball too much. Go back and watch that Mizzou film. That dude was not holding on to the ball. I was really impressed with his play last week, and I'm telling you, it's going to take a lot. And again, it could take KJ having a bad game against Bama. Maybe Hornsby comes in. He balls out. Oh, now we got a new quarterback, the new QB1 happening. That's entirely possible. Malik Hornsby, he is an exciting player. I hope he gets dialed in. I hope these rumors about Kendall Briles possibly going to Arkansas State, I hope they're not true. They're just, if anything, it's like, right now it's noise. Like, it's just people throwing out names. There's no one's reporting that. No one in the media. I think Luke Matheson had reported that he was someone he would put on his list, who, of course, works for the Arkansas State media over there in Northeast Arkansas. But, yeah, I think that is the most important question. Then there's also the health of Morgan. What's up with him? Is he going to get to play? What are they going to do at running back this week if Smith is slowing down? If he gets banged up, what do they do? Is TJ Hammond's going to be the guy? I think I liked what I saw out of him, but then who's behind him? Do you play that power back Johnson? Do we get to finally see him play a little bit? By the way, it doesn't matter what you do with him. You're not burning any red shirts. So you could play him and not even worry about burning his red shirt. And as far as I know, he's healthy and good to go. He was healthy and good to go last week, talking about Johnson. Going to have to get things going. Bama's good. I'm not – it's hard for me to make a prediction because I want to say Bama 67, Arkansas 14. But I don't think that happens because there's a lot of variables there. They don't want to risk getting hurt before – playing Florida. You could see some heavy substitutions by halftime, assuming Arkansas is getting absolutely blown out. Again, you play the game on the field. I agree with that. I know I'm going to get someone. I'm either going to get an email or I'm going to get someone in the comments like, you play the game on the field, you're too negative, blah, blah, blah. It's Bama. It's Bama, for the love of God. They're just that good. It's hard to be optimistic in this game. I mean, you're talking about a 32-point spread here, you know. But if I gave you, I'll just say I'm not ready to give a score, but I got to give my score to Keith, our graphics guy tonight. I'm not going to give a score because I don't know. I'm going to probably flip a coin. I'm gonna have two scores printed out or typed up or something. I'm going to flip a coin. Like that's probably what I'm going to have to do. But I do think Arkansas finds a way to cover the spread, but I think it's going to be a pretty ugly game. Let's see. Laugh out loud. We put up 47 points. Defense lost game for us. Yeah, well, no, that is true. Defense did lose the game. And I'm not saying that KJ lost the game for anybody. K. McKivy. I'm not saying that. Defense lost the game. But I feel like had KJ or had Felipe Franks been healthy, good to go, with the run game going like it was, I think Franks gives you the better possibility of winning that game. Absolutely. He's got the experience underneath him, right? I'm not knocking KJ. It's nothing KJ did. I just think that had Franks been in his shoes, I think you probably win that game. And with Franks, maybe the win is in no way a slight on KJ. Exactly. That's how they treated him last year when he started against LSU. When the offense has a good play, they run to the line and they get the playoff quickly. Continued. Why is it when it is not so good play, they walk up to the line and wait for a play to be called? I would like to see us go hurry up even on bad plays. So, and I've said all year, their biggest problem on offense is when they slow things down, and they can't do it. They were incapable of doing that because they had no run threat. They had no threat of run. There's no threat of the offensive line getting any push up front, and it's hard to slow things down in this offense, apparently, with Franks at quarterback and be successful. Time of possession has killed them this year. It's been a killer. They do not know how to operate the clock on offense, and it's not anything Kendall Briles is doing or calling or whatever. It's just more about the product on the field. It's just not complete. They don't have. They just. I don't know. It's kind of a conundrum. It's bizarre. You would think that when you go high tempo and you're having success, you should have the ability to slow things down, run the clock out a little bit more, but they just can't do it. And I think a part of that's because there's so many mismatches up front of the line of scrimmage that when you go high tempo and you're going quick, well, you can't substitute on defense. They get worn out. They get worn out faster. You got 5 bodies, sometimes 6, depending on the tight end where he's blocking, versus 3 or 4 guys up front. They're going to get worn down much quicker, and you can't sub. That's why you see Mizzou, Drinkowitz is so slimy. I mean, just a page right out of Gus Malzahn's own book. That's why you saw those guys look to the line, their defensive linemen, look to the line of scrimmage, look to their sidelines, does this, and then drops to the floor. They're tired. That's the only way they could slow Arkansas down, and guess what happened? Some of those drives, they stalled a little bit because that happened. So I think that's part of the reason why when they go high tempo, they're able to kind of make up for what they don't have on the line of scrimmage, for what they don't have up front on the offensive line. Because now your 5 versus 3 or 4 are getting some push. It's wearing them down. They're getting mixed up. And nothing's working. They're probably getting down a little bit. They're getting pushed around, and Arkansas finds a way to tap the drive off with a score. So, and then when they slow down, it gives them the opportunity when you're subbing out guys. Remember, when the offense subs out personnel, the defense can sub out personnel, and now all of a sudden you're playing a fresher front 7. You're playing a fresh defensive front. It allows them to substitute when you're having to sub out, or even when you're stalling. And then I think too, it just comes down to lack of talent on offense. They just don't have the talent along the line of scrimmage. They just don't have it. They absolutely dominated Mizzou up front. That's not going to happen this week against Bama. I mean, on offense, you might get a – it's so hard to even see any success up front of the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball against Bama. I do think they have guys that are capable of opening up gaps against Bama. I do think they're capable. But there's an issue of can they do it consistently. And the answer for against Bama all year, no matter who they played, is no. Absolutely not. Leslie says, I know they say when hell freezes over, we will win a game against Bama, but we got snow moving in, so look out. There's supposed to be some precipitation tomorrow. It's an early game, I think. Actually, let me pull up the old radar here. Let's take a look. Let me just pull it up. What are we looking at? What's the weather showing us tomorrow? It looks like it's been pushed to Sunday. Not tomorrow. It got pushed to Sunday. I mean, right there it is. I don't know if you look at the kickoff time there, but there's no snow. So that got pushed to Sunday. All right. Well, earlier, I swear, last night or earlier today, I looked, there was precipitation, so maybe not. Never underestimate Sam Pittman. This dude is the real deal, and his team believes in him, and I believe that there's going to be a victory tomorrow. Okay. Hey, I love the excitement. I do. I can respect that. Still think they need to look into the faked injuries. Couldn't agree more. I've been saying it's funny. I've been saying this for a couple of years now. I said this when Chad was here, and when I first started seeing Gus Malzahn do this, I started to understand why he was doing it. And I mentioned they're going to have to figure out a way to do that without penalizing the player or the team, but you've got to treat that like the no helmet rule, right? When you take your helmet off on the field, you got to set out the next play. It needs to be treated like that, except it needs to be extended. I've heard now other shows, other podcasts are now adopting that philosophy. It's good to see people are coming around to that because that's exactly what needs to happen. I've been saying that here for a while now. Need to treat that. You need to sub them, or they need to be out for a set amount of plays or the rest of that drive. That's what should happen with that nonsense. Stuff drives me insane. With Bama working to take out Treylon Woods needs to be ready. Yeah, no, I agree with that. He's going to see a lot of double team coverage, and I hope Woods just breaks out tomorrow. I want somebody break out, anybody. I would like to see Knox. Could you imagine that in ending your year, ending the season that's been so disappointing for Knox to go out there and catch 8 or 9 balls for 120, 140 yards, maybe a couple scores? How about that for Knox? He caught a ball last week, and I think he was targeted twice. I think Ty went over 30 minutes, but I'm not going to stop him. I think I did go over 30 minutes. My wife's not. Oh, I did. It's 46 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just stop there. Yeah, I'm not hating on KJ. Again, I knew when I said that someone would get upset. I'm not hating on KJ. You guys know when Arkansas signed KJ Jefferson, I was thrilled. And watching him play against Mizzou, I mean, it did nothing but solidify. I believe that guy has a higher ceiling than what a lot of people thought that he had, because a lot of people checked out on him after last year. After last year, a lot of people checked out on him. As a true freshman under Chad Morris, I don't know how many times I heard, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. He ain't it. He ain't it. I mean, clearly he was it against Mizzou. I was really impressed. I just think had someone as experienced as Franks been out there when Traylon Smith and Hammonds and this run game was going and was as effective as it was, that's the most effective the run game's been all year. I think that was the most rushing yards. I could be wrong. But go back to the last time they were this effective. Who was it against? Did they win or not? You know, Franks is a damn good quarterback, and I don't think there. I think that's a pretty. I think that's a steady take, honestly. That had Franks been the guy, you probably win that game. It's nothing on KJ. His performance was incredible. 4 touchdowns. That was incredible. He had a great game. But you feel like maybe with his experience, with Franks' experience, I think you possibly win that game. I'm not saying he goes out and throws 5 or has 5 total touchdowns. Maybe he does. I don't know. But Mizzou was clearly discombobulated when Arkansas's run game got going. They couldn't stop it. Agree on KJ. If the game gets out of hand early, he needs to get some playing time. Hurry, Ty, you don't want to be in the doghouse. It's cold outside. Yeah, you guys didn't give me any recommendations for dinner. I didn't see anything. I asked for recommendations in Fayetteville, Springdale, and nothing. Nothing. I'm disappointed. Did you guys answer the call on likes? You did. We got up to 20 likes. Okay. So, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe KJ's better than Franks. That's a possibility with what I saw against Mizzou. You know, and you could also say that no matter who was at quarterback last week, it was absolutely on the defense. And I'm not gonna die on that hill. I'm not gonna die on the hill of had Franks played, you win. I'm not dying on that hill because the defense absolutely did cost them. You said Chinese. I did say Chinese, but I wanted some recommendations. Jenna says just food. Food. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys. Neil's Cafe. We like Neil's Cafe. We've had Neil's. Are they open? That's actually good. That's actually a really good idea. Neil's Cafe. I hadn't thought of that. That's why I wanted to chat. That's good stuff. If you guys haven't had Neil's, you're missing out. That is some good food over at Neil's. Spring Street Grill is really good. Taco Shack is pretty damn good. Taco Shack is good. Taco Shack is really good. Okay, I do appreciate you guys. Like, if you haven't already, it looks like a lot of you have. Manti, you got to go. Penguin Eds. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got to go, Penguin Eds. I was like, yeah, I know. I got to go. I'm trying. Like, share the content, subscribe if you haven't already. I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you get a chance to go to the game tomorrow, have fun. I don't know how you're going to get in. I don't know what they're doing on that. I live in Little Rock, so I got no idea about food up there. Wes's Barbecue. I haven't thought of that place in a while. Over behind Fayetteville High. Yeah, we used to go there in high school. Yeah, it's good stuff over at Wes's Barbecue. You guys remember Brenda's Bigger Burger? Are there any old school G's in chat in Fayetteville? Brenda's Bigger Burger? Or Curtis Mathis? Ooh, you got to be real old school to know Curtis Mathis. That was a rental. That's where I rented video games. I was like 6. It's where Electric Cowboy, or what's it called, Whiskey 101. It's adjacent. There's a Mexican restaurant and Whiskey 101. And where the Mexican restaurant is, that's where the Curtis Mathis Rental Center was. If you're real old school Fayetteville G, you know what's up. I'll see you guys halftime show tomorrow over on Facebook. And, of course, the post-game show right here after the game. I'll see you guys then. Oh, my gosh, I'm in trouble. We're at 51 minutes. Woo Pig Suey, you guys behave yourselves.